Comparison is really the death of joy, but the birth of unhappiness. Like, how can you ever be satisfied with what's on your plate when you're constantly focused on what's on the next man's plate? Like, how can you ever be happy? How can you ever be satisfied? So, you know what? That's the little introduction. And as you can imagine, today I'm going to be talking about comparison and how it steals away the joy of the life that some people live. So yeah, being a Gen Z myself, I feel like the day and age that we're currently living in, social media is so rampant. Do you understand? Like, I know social media has always been prevalent in the last couple of years, but with my generation in particular, I feel like it's been absolutely like such a huge factor in almost everybody's life, whether you want to accept it or not. So the main theme of today's video is just going to be comparison and how it's essentially just an absolute thief of joy. Like, it's literally the death of some people's happiness and the beginning of their own happiness. If you ever sit and wonder sometimes, like if you're ever unhappy, you ever sit down and wonder sometimes why you're unhappy? Ask yourself why you're unhappy. And a lot of the times, if you dig deep enough, you'll find that you're just looking at what somebody else has got that you don't have. So that's literally going to be the theme of the video today. Why comparing your life to someone else's is the surest way to lose sight of your own potential. So what's the actual problem with comparison? Now, I feel like comparison isn't always necessarily a negative thing. It can actually be a positive thing. Now, if there's a certain way you view yourself, or there's a certain space you want to get into, and you're comparing yourself to the greats. For example, if I want to be an NBA player and I'm comparing myself to Michael Jordan, I'm comparing myself to Kobe and how much they used to train, it can be a positive in that sense. So it has its positive side as well as its negative side. But what I feel like has been more prevalent in the most recent years is definitely its negative side. Now, what people like, I feel like 90% of people don't even realize this about social media, because you grow up with it and you just, like, it's so ingrained in your day-to-day life that it almost becomes such a normal thing, and you never get to step back and really understand that, oh, hold on, wait, what actually is this? And one of the biggest problems, I think, with social media is perception. The way somebody can just mold and put out a specific perception that isn't necessarily the truth. And the problem nowadays is everybody falls into this idea of what this person is showing me is really the way they're living. You know, this smile I'm seeing on this Instagram picture, this guy really living his life, or this girl is really living her life. But whole time they're just putting out what they want you to see. They're not putting out the real truth. So the truth and the actual perception just gets misconstrued constantly. But yeah, I mean, and if you honestly think about it, like, nobody posts their struggles. Who actually goes on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is you use, Facebook, and posts, you know what, today I had a shitty day at work. My manager was on my neck at the office. I fucked up a few orders, or whatever the case may be, whatever industry you're working in, and my job's in jeopardy. Who actually posts that? Someone find me somebody that actually talks like that on social media, because I know there's not many. And you know what, the ones that are out there, they're unique because no one else is trying to do that. Everybody just goes on there and shows their happy life. Because guess what? The perception they're putting out there ain't true. It's just what they want you to think is true. So yeah, I mean, that's the problem with social media, honestly. It's just the whole perception, and people start to mistake reality with fiction. Essentially, people will begin to not really understand the difference, especially, like I said, when you've grown up with it, it's so ingrained in your mind and in your everyday life, it almost becomes real to you. But nobody ever takes a step back and realizes, hold on, this is a facade. So how does it actually affect somebody constantly being stuck in social media and constantly watching what other people have going on? So of course, some of the effects it can have on you is you can end up being stressed out. Somebody's in a certain position that you want to be in. Maybe you've been working for it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they're in that position and you're not. You can get anxious. You see a certain scenario played out for a certain somebody, You plan on going down that route, and now you're anxious and nervous about, okay, what if it doesn't work for me like it didn't work for this guy? And second off, low self-esteem. You're seeing people there who are maybe better looking than you, who are making a lot more money than you, and who are living a more lavish lifestyle than you. And now all of a sudden you feel like your life is worth less than their life. But again, it just goes back to perception. They're showing you what they want to show you. Another reason now why comparison is the thief of joy is because it almost makes people forget the unique nature of their journey. I mean, when we're all born, some of us are born black, some of us are born white, some of us are born brown. We're all born with different skin colors, right? Our eye color, some people have brown eyes, some people have blue eyes, some people even have clear eyes. You know what I mean? Everybody's unique in their own way. So clearly when you come into this world, your journey is, you're unique yourself, which in and itself means your journey is going to be unique, regardless of whether you want to accept it or not. So why would you look to your left, look to your right, see what journey this person's on, what journey that person's on, and think to yourself, oh, okay, cool, they're further ahead in their journey than I am? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just because it looks like this person's further ahead than I am doesn't mean I'm not necessarily doing well. Doesn't mean I'm not doing great. Doesn't mean I'm not on the right path. Absolutely not. It just means he's on that path. He's on that path. I'm on this path. And I'll keep working away and see where I end up. Simple as that. But because of social media and because of this whole perception and this whole people struggling to actually realize the difference between real and fake. So don't let comparison take away the unique journey that you've been given to you, whether you believe in God or some sort of spiritual being, or even if you don't believe in God at all, but you believe in powers of the universe. Don't let comparison take away your unique journey. You're on your own journey. If you can focus in on staying on your own lane, block out who's on your left, who's on your right, focus on what you need to do, where you need to be at, then essentially that tunnel vision will end up bringing you where you want to be. I don't think people understand how powerful it is to be so tunnel vision and be focused on your own lane. Like, people don't understand that's almost a superpower nowadays, because trying to block out the noise is insane. I'll say that again, trying to block out the noise is insane. It's almost a superpower in itself. There's just literally so many distractions today, whether it be TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. There's distractions absolutely everywhere. Forget social media, there's distractions in real life. People don't even understand how important it is to just focus on your own lane, your own growth, and what you got going on. Block out the noise, block out the social media, block out all the other opinions, and do what you want to do. There's distractions in real life. You'll go out there and you'll go see somebody, you go see a girl, or there's real distractions out here. So once you can figure out a way to block out the noise, hone in on your tunnel vision, and realize that the lane that I'm on is going to be different to the lane that this lady is going to be on, or this man's going to be on, then honestly that's when you can start to honestly see progression. And it's fine, because other people won't see that progression. They'll still compare and think, okay, cool, I'm ahead of him. They won't see that progression. But as long as you know you're putting in the work every single day, you're there every single day, you're never slacking. You're putting in your best effort, 100%, best foot forward every single time. Well then, slow progression is better than no progression. You'll get there eventually. Now I promise you, when you get there, it'll be rewarding, because you didn't try and do it overnight. You didn't try and skip this and that part of the journey. You went through the whole process. And you know what? It's essentially the idea of delayed gratification. You waiting longer to actually achieve it will make you appreciate it more than the person who gets it overnight. So, and again, you know, I just want to close up by talking about the actual positive side of comparison, because comparison is like a tool. Imagine you had like a flick knife, right? You can use it to stab yourself. You can literally use it to stab yourself. Or you know what? You can take it out of your pocket and say, do you know what? I'm going to use this as a weapon. Now, I wouldn't recommend stabbing nobody else. But I'm going to use this as a weapon. This is going to be a tool. This is going to be a weapon for me, so that when I go out in the world, I know I'm ready. I'm ready for battle. I'm ready for war. Do you understand? So, just looking at that analogy, like I said again, if you're comparing yourself to other people who are on completely different journeys, completely different paths, they're not even the same age as you, grew up in a completely different environment to you, might even have different goals than you, well, then you're just taken away from your own unique journey. Do you understand? However, if you can compare yourself to the greats who've done it before, people who have walked the journey you've walked, people who are from where you're from, or taken the path that you want to take and been successful, and you want to take inspiration from them, then comparison can absolutely be a tool in your arsenal. It can absolutely be a positive. It can be a force that can push you to be where you want to be, to do better. But it's like the tool is in your hands. What you want to do with it is up to you. It's not up to the person to your left, to your right, your parents, your mom, dad, friend, girlfriend. It's in your hands. So whatever you want to do with it, make sure you're making the right choice. But yeah, this is just on my mind, so I just felt like I really wanted to speak on it, to be honest, and I was like, why not just record some of my thoughts. But yeah, at the end of the day, your journey is your journey. No one else is gonna walk the journey for you. No one else is gonna carry your hand for you. You've gotta bring yourself through your own unique journey. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video now. Yeah, I'm out.
I gotta be rich before it's all over. I ain't tryna live life low risk. I ain't tryna get by.